Columns can be pretty handy. They can also be very frustrating to create. Let's look at how we can simplify this column setup. I'm going to come up here to the old Office button Start, and I'm going to come down here to a recent document, and I'm going to open this one up. And what I'd like to do is to set this second paragraph to be in column format. This is pretty simple to do. We need to format it a little later too to do some extra things. So I'm just going to click on this, highlight this whole paragraph, and then I am going to go to page layout, because remember, every time we start, we default to the home tab. So let me click on the page layout tab. And in page setup here, I'm going to look at the columns button here. I'm going to click on columns, and I'm going to come down here and go to columns. You'll notice that we don't have a preview here, but you pretty much already have in mind what you want to do. So I'm going to click on 2 columns. And if you'd like to, while it's still highlighted, you can go back and do 3. If you look at the menu here, there are other options, and you can go here to more column options. That's up for you to decide if you want to do that. I'm going to go back to 2 columns. And while I'm still highlighted here, I can do some additional formatting. I'm going to go back to the Home tab. And you can either center the text in each of the columns. You can justify it so it goes wall to wall. And that's not a bad way of looking at it. That's pretty good. So if I click off of this, you know, that's okay. If you wanted to, you could put a little line down here in the middle. You could put them in boxes. So let's go back to that page layout. Because a problem happens when, say, you're down here and you want to add some text. And I'm just going to lean on a key here. And what the software expects is that you want the software to even out the columns. So if I start just typing in randomly here, you'll see that the software is trying to keep the columns evenly distributed. Now that could work out well. There might be a point though when you want to work in individual columns. So let me just go back here. I did a little Control-Z, my keystroke, just to get back there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just select right here at the end of my text. Okay. I'm going to go up to breaks. And now I'm going to click on the break button and come down here to column. And this says that where I have marked my column, that any text following this column break will begin in the next column. This is very handy. So I'm going to click on this. And you notice the cursor is up here. So because of my limited keyboard skills, I'm just going to lean on the K, and you're going to see that all of my text that I add here goes into the right-hand column. But wait, you say, I need to add a little more text back over here. So I simply just click back onto this text that is before the column break. And if I start adding text here, you notice it only adds it in the left-hand column. So you can add columns, and then you can format them so that you can work on each column individually. And those are pretty good things to do, particularly if you're working with graphics or if you're actually entering your work as you're moving along.